evening and welcome to FDN News. I'm Kaylee Hendrickson. Our top story tonight, Huntington crews are still cooling the ashes of one of the largest local fires in recent memory. About 8 yesterday morning, the firefighters responded to reports of a fire at the corner of Cherry and Market Streets. When they arrived, they found heavy smoke building out of the top of the building. What started as flames turned into smoke as dozens of crew members fought the blaze. But high winds made efforts difficult, blowing the water and smoke everywhere. Much of downtown Huntington was covered in a smoky haze yesterday. Emergency crews directed traffic around the area as the fire knocked out the power to a busy block of downtown. The downtown building is home to apartments and businesses. The library house residents were displaced from their apartments. The cause of the fire is still unknown.
We are thinking that it has started up in the attic area above the second-story apartments at this time, but that's yet to be determined, obviously. We've got State Fire Marshal here, along working with our local fire marshal, David Toyce.
We're going to try to, get it sorted out today, make sure everybody's safe. There's no more damage than there has to be. The winds are killing us, so if anybody knows how to say a good prayer, we'd love for the winds to die down.
In all, about 60 to 70 firefighters tackled yesterday's massive fires. Officials are still investigating the cause. The harsh winds also affected many of you on campus. Around 5 yesterday evening, heavy winds knocked the power out for some of the buildings across campus. One of those buildings was the MCA. Many of the students in the building had to stop what they were doing during the busy time of the semester.
We were hanging up costumes, so when the power went out, it was kind of dark. It was about 5 o'clock, so we were pretty much wrapping up anyways, so we just kind of ended the day there.
Campus leaders are still working today to ensure campus is at full operation. With wind gusts yesterday reaching a high of 50 to 60 miles per hour, they have since died down. But looking to this weekend's forecast, it looks like warm weather is going to die down as well. As we look into Friday, it will be mostly cloudy with a high of 29. And Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high of 30. And for Sunday, we have sunny with a high of 32. NASA has discovered 7 Earth-like planets. These planets all have a relatively warm climate, as well as rocky terrain. Both of these factors are signs that could point to possible life. Some Christians may not know how to take in this new information. Both in the science and theological fields are offering advice on how to absorb this new discovery.
We sometimes think of scientific discoveries as being potentially threatening to our faith, when really we ought to think of these things as opportunities to understand our faith better and expand our faith more and understand the God of the universe.
I don't think that Genesis 1 is really setting out to give a description of the ultimate origins of the entire cosmos. Necessarily. I think it's describing how God created the heavens and the earth as we understand it.
How do you feel about this new discovery? Do you think that it conflicts with the biblical creation story?
You can always vote on our Twitter poll online at Twitter at FDN_news.
Well, that is certainly exciting to see how many new discoveries have been made.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what discoveries are waiting to be discovered out there. Kind of like our women's basketball team discovered Miranda Palmer 4 years ago. I'll have more on her story and our men's baseball team coming up after the break.
The reason I became an RA was knowing that when I came in as a freshman that I had an RA that I can fall back on. Even though I didn't necessarily utilize that all that much, I knew that he was there for whatever came up in my life, and I really wanted to be able to do that for everyone that I live with in the resident halls.
A lot of times the RA is one of the first people that a student meets when they arrive on campus, whether they're a new student or returning student, and we want them to be just willing RAs. We want them just to be willing and interested in getting involved in all of their students' lives.
I think just for people that do want to go through the RA process, I think it is just a good place to look and see what your RA does and make sure they know what they're getting into, because it is a lot of work, but it's so fun, and it is a long process, but you meet a lot of new people and you learn a lot, and you really grow just throughout the interview process as it is.
Seeing residents on your floor grow in their relationship with God, grow in their academic abilities, and grow in their, their social health is really rewarding.
It's a lot of responsibilities, but it is really worth it in the end. You do grow a lot through it, and you have the opportunity to facilitate growth on the floor and to kind of shape the community and the culture of your floor.
It's been 4 years of watching Miranda Palmer grow under Coach Lori Kohler. This season, Miranda Palmer became the women's basketball all-time leading scorer with 2,173 career points. Kind of hard to imagine. After leading the Lady Foresters to the conference semifinals against St. Francis, her collegiate basketball career ended, but she leaves behind a legacy as a leader and sister with the women's basketball team.
My first impression of Miranda Palmer when she arrived at Huntington was that she was a very good player. She came and played in an open gym with us and really kind of took it to us, and so we were kind of impressed by that, because not a lot of high school seniors do that. But I thought at the time that she had the potential to be a very good player. We also liked the fact that she had a fantastic step back three, which became her signature move here at the collegiate level.
Basketball has always been really important to me. I fell in love with the game when I was really young, and I always knew I wanted to play in college, so I always worked really hard at it. And so getting to play in college was just special to me and was really exciting. And then just having the career that I've had and getting to play with the people that I've played with and my relationship with Coach, it's been a great experience the whole time. Yeah, I think that what makes it special is that we're all really good friends. We're not just teammates, so you'll find a lot of our team hanging out even outside of basketball. So we choose to spend our free time together even though we're together all the time. And for me, I get to come to practice every day and play the game I love with a lot of my best friends. Freshman year, I was definitely pretty quiet. So what I brought to the team was hard work and just a willingness to play hard every day and sort of keep my head down. And then it's changed over the years. I've become more of a leader, and in more ways than just like on the court and by example. I've become a little more vocal. And I would say just how much I love the game is something that my teammates can see.
Well, as we move from winter to springtime, the men's baseball season is underway. Our Foresters have been on the field practicing for the season. This season marks the last season for 11 of our seniors. Coach Mike Frame is hoping that they make the best out of it.
I mean, some of these guys have been here for 4 years. We've got 11 seniors. So, I've known them for 5 years, recruiting them, and they've been here. So just kind of watching them play, hoping that they can leave here with the best season that they've had since they've been here, and just kind of enjoying, watching them do what they do.
That's all we have for you in this installment of FDN News.
Remember, you can always check us out online at forsterdigital.net and tweet us your thoughts at FDN_news.
Have a great spring break.